How much weight you put on?
I'm 280. Now, last year I'm 260, I think. It was between 250 and 260.
What'd you come into the league at?
223.
You put on 60 pounds of muscle in 2 years?
Yeah, mixed in with a little fat. Just a little bit though.
That's big time.
Just very little.
I'm Raymond Brenkert, sport performance and movement coach, back again. Few Knicks this season had more to prove than Mitchell Robinson. Last year, injuries stymied the 23-year-old's progression. Before the coronavirus pandemic shut the NBA season down in March of 2020, Robinson averaged 2 blocks a game and set the record for highest single-season field goal percentage. He may have only attempted 3 shots outside the paint and spent a lot of his time coming off the bench against second units, but expectations were still high before injuries derailed the center's season. First, he fractured his left hand in February, causing him to miss 15 games. And then, in his 4th game back from that injury, he fractures his right foot, and there goes his 3rd season. The Knicks signed Robinson a 2nd-round pick to a 3-year, $4.7 million contract, which included a $1.8 million team option for this season. New York elected to exercise that option this past summer, meaning he will remain with the team until he becomes an unrestricted free agent this August. In anticipation of his contract year, Mitch spent most of his offseason in the weight room. He said that he started the season at about 280 pounds. Last year, we see that he was around 265 and 255 and even came into the league at 220 pounds. His thinking likely being that he had to bulk up in order to hold his own down low. A center rotation around Nerlens Noel, Mitch Robinson, and Taj Gibson leaves a lot to be desired around the boards. Plus, if you're getting bodied down low, you're much more likely to get hurt. But things have not gone as planned for Robinson or the Knicks. When he entered the league, Mitch's calling cards were his agility, mobility, and ability to get to the perimeter to contest those shots. So he entered the 2021-2022 season after around 8 months of downtime with 20 pounds of muscle. And even if it is muscle, 20 pounds is still 20 pounds. It's not like Mitch was known to play big minutes before, but this season he's made a point of trying to get his cardio back to at least an acceptable level. Also, we don't know when the Knicks and Robinson decided to reverse course, but he's back down to 260 pounds.
Like after every game, I get a quick lift in, and then I get on the bike for, extra 20, 15 minutes, somewhere around there, and we just hit it hard, something like that. My stamina, so I just getting tired real quick, run for about 6-7 minutes, and then boom, I'm gassed, so it's like, that's something I got to work on real bad.
These interviews came just before the Knicks played the Spurs on December 7th, which actually marked Robinson's return to the bench. The Knicks were 6-11 since November started, and Tibbs' response was just going to be swapping Noel for Robinson in the starting lineup. Mitch responded. He had 11 and 14, 8 offensive boards, 3 blocks. But you could see his stamina bar drain in real time. And what makes me nervous is the lack of body control we see towards the end. Yes, it cost the team a couple of possessions, and yes, it gets Mitch pulled, but this is when it's so easy to get hurt, when things are flying in and out of alignment. Now, this should improve with Mitch's stamina as Mitch's stamina develops. It's going to take his body some time to get used to being lighter. He got used to being 280 pounds, which ironically is why he's getting tired so quickly. Remember in Dragon Ball Z when Piccolo would shed his shoulder weights and become twice as fast and do everything twice as awesome? It's kind of like that, except if you're not Namekian, you're twice as liable to get worn out just as quick. Some fans may want Mitch to drop even more weight, thinking that it's going to make him quicker and more agile, and it will. He'll get more explosive and more dynamic, but he's going to hit the wall way sooner. What might be best for Mitch is to find that sweet spot in the weight, get accustomed to it, and find his best energy equilibrium going forward. Unfortunately, neither Robinson nor the Knicks may have the time to figure these things out. We're recording this before the Knicks take on the Houston Rockets, so best case is that they've won a game since their trip to San Antonio. And with trade rumors swirling, Mitch may not even be in orange and blue by the time this offseason rolls around. Even if he is, Noel is under team control through 2024, and plus the Knicks drafted Jericho Sims, a 2nd-round center out of this year's draft. Mitchell Robinson could be able to run a marathon by this time the season is over, but it's still really hard to imagine the Knicks bringing him back. It would be a disappointing but understandable ending to his Knicks tenure. Look, hopefully Mitch is able to find that groove as he gets more accustomed to his new playing weight and recapture that sustained tenacity that brought him into the league. The Knicks could really use that guy right now. Plus, if he wants a new multi-year contract somewhere else, he's going to first have to impress somebody else in someone's front office. But yeah, the first thing is finding that correct weight, getting the stamina built up to where it needs to be. For the Knicks Wall, I'm Raymond Brenkert, and remember, when you move better, you feel better.